We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. The Drive-In Theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's up?
That was some real flair that you got right there.
Yeah, dude. It's September, man. It's September.
Oh, yeah. Say that you remember.
Oh,
Is that what
yeah.
we're talking about?
It's the 7th of September, yeah. Yeah, man. It is the 7th of September, so it means it's Halloween season. For me,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, hey, the big box stores have the decorations and accessories and things up.
Oh, man, I'm pumped. It is the most wonderful time of the year. It is a time where I finally feel alive, and yeah, I can stop asking or having to answer the questions of why I wear long sleeves all year round and why I'm not wearing shorts, and people leave me alone about my wardrobe choices, and then I get to like watch leaves fall from the trees and wear jackets and no one questions the fact that I have blow-mode jack-o'-lanterns in my window 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. They just accept it starting September.
Pockets.
Pockets?
You get to have pockets now?
Everybody has pockets. You get that cool pocket right there in the inside. Yeah, man, it's September. Good times. And September is the kickoff of some of the best movie watching seasons of the year. September through December are like the best times to be watching movies. Good movies come out. Good movies. It's time to revisit old movies. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I'm kind of curious what this fall looks like with COVID and the pandemic and the quarantine and all of this kind of stuff, because people are going to be revisiting more movies than ever before. You know, one of the things I've been seeing reoccurring on the internet as I look through news and find things to talk about each week is all of these like more popular than us film bloggers, which just blows my mind. You know, they're just like, we saw Coneheads on Netflix for the first time. What is this movie? And they're like, oh, we saw Bram Stoker's Dracula on the Netflix for the first time. Let's review this movie. And I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't seen these movies?
I saw a YouTube suggested video for me, and it was, I watched Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring for the first time. Do you know how many views this woman had on her video?
About 1 trillion.
327,000 views. And she was like, oh, for the first time ever, I'm watching a 20-year-old film.
Yeah, these and then or people that are supposed to be like film enthusiasts or film critics or film voices in film knowledge, kind of like what we're trying to do here for the past. Like, I've been doing this show almost as long as Lord of the Rings has been out. I think I reviewed it on this show a long time ago.
You know what we should do? We should start having a video series of we watched this movie for the 200th time, and it's just us telling you what's about to happen
every
in the
single
movie,
time,
and then getting way hyped on it like it is the first time. That
or like
we've seen
saying
it.
the sentence right before it happens. Like, I know I do
Just
that
like,
a lot.
Yeah, we could call it annoying moviegoer, and it's just us watching a movie that we've seen too many times.
I'm like, oh, dude, this is the part where Arnold flips over the Porsche and it's like totally broken, but then it's fixed. Oh, check it out.
Yeah.
What movie is that from?
Where he flips a Porsche?
Yeah. It's it's a really famous continuity error where they wreck this Porsche and then he like goes and then flips back over and they peel out and it's like a totally brand new Porsche again. That's Commando.
I was gonna say Commando, but are you talking where he's shooting the rockets at it?
He takes that dude's Porsche, and he's driving it. You know, it's like where he's like, I told I'd kill you last. I lied. And he drops the dude. He drops that like Weasley dude. That's the Weasley dude in all the movies. And
then he drops himself into like the Everglades to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Porsche, they like wreck his Porsche and they're like, we need a car. And he like flips this beat up Porsche over, and then they peel out, and it's like a brand new continuity stuff, man. It's just fun continuity errors.
Well, it's like every time a car flips in a movie, there's no drive line. Its drive shaft and transmission and all of that are gone, and you're just like, oh, look at that. That car is not really much of a car. But most people don't know anything about their vehicles, so they have no idea.
No, they don't.
But that's a different thing. But yeah, we should do that.
We should do
start.
So what we need,
we watch
need
Commando
Yeah.
for the umpteenth
100th billionth time.
Yeah. Let off some steam, Bennett.
Yeah. Like that low budget Freddie Mercury with the chainmail shirt that is in the movie the whole time.
Yeah, or just talk about Alyssa Milano and
Weird.
the chase down the hillside at the beginning of the movie.
There's so many good ones. Vince says the chariot flipping Gladiator. No, that was a really good continuity error. Let's some shout outs.
Gladiator gets a pass on some of its continuity errors because they did have one of their primary actors die during the filming, and they did a very good job of hiding that.
Dumbledore?
No.
He died way later.
That was not... Dumbledore is not in Gladiator.
The first Dumbledore is. He's
Is
the
he?
king. Yeah.
Oh, no. It was the guy that was the trainer, the gladiator, the gladiatorial trainer.
Yeah, because the
that-
Dumbledore, he didn't die in Gladiator. He died in Harry Potter.
After
Harry Potter.
filming like the second or third movie. Yeah, second movie. Yeah.
Anyway, shout outs to everybody that's already tuned into the live stream. If you're tuned into the MP3, whatever. Do we call them MP3s anymore? People just call them podcasts, the audio version of this on your Spotify or tuned in. Maybe you're streaming. I don't know. But you're not looking at our beautiful faces. But if you are tuned in live, shout outs to Johnny Dalton, Vince, McLean, all over there. We got one on Facebook, one on YouTube, and one on Twitch.
Hey, perfect.
It's just the trifecta.
That we're doing it. Vince over here on Twitch said he will not cut slack for Gladiator or Twilight Zone. That's going to a dark place right there. That's going to a very dark place.
Twilight Zone, the movie, has its merits, man.
Yeah, but it also murdered children with a helicopter. So.
Yeah, it was the Twilight Zone.
Put people into a real grave and had real skeletons.
It was the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
That was the Twilight Zone. That movie's good. I miss anthology,
the Twilight Zone.
Anthology movies. Speaking of anthology movies, there was some really cool news that came out this week. I don't know if you guys knew about with the success of Bill and Ted that's happening right now. Bill and Ted was actually originally scripted to be a segment of an anthology film from the writers Ed Solomon and Chris Matheson who pitched this film idea, and it was going to be kind of like an Amazing Stories sort of, a group of shorts, one of these anthology films that were popular in the 80s, and Bill and Ted was going to be one of the segments. There was another segment that's been, this rumored, like, when is it ever going to be released? When are they ever going to get this thing off the ground? And it was a stop-motion animated comedy called Automatons. And it was a part of that original script. It was about these two, World War II automatons that were created to, destroy Hitler. And as they're going across the ocean, their boat gets sunk, and they spend the next, 70 years or whatever at the bottom of the ocean, and finally find their way to like Milwaukee or something. And like the pressure of the ocean and just being down there so long has kind of made them insane, and they think they're humans and all the people are robots, but they're still trying to go find and kill Hitler. And it sounds amazing, but they did a handful of shorts of this a long time ago. They had recorded some major celebrity voices, like Gary Shandling back at the time, Billy Bob Thornton, Jack Black, John Cleese, Sylvester Stallone. They had had a lot of really cool names attached, and William H. Macy, I think.
So do they still have all the recordings? Did all these people record their lines? Can they still
for the shorts? Yeah, but there's talks now if they could get those people back and do a feature length now that Bill and Ted 3 is doing so good. And, Adult Swim has reached out to Ed and Chris thinking about maybe making this a reality, and I would love to see it. That sounds really cool.
Oh, speaking of super cool Bill and Ted stuff, have you seen the new Cyberpunk 2077 action figures that are out of Keanu Reeves' character?
No.
It's just him shredding guitar as hard as possible. There's a foot-tall statuette that I almost bought us, but it was too much money. And I don't know if Cyberpunk's going to be any good, but I should probably buy it because it'll end up being a collector's item worth more than it is now.
Like that Sea of Thieves remote controller.
Yeah, the Sea of Thieves remote control that if you have it outfit with the code for the ferryman outfit, it's worth $600 on the low end.
Stupid.
People
are stupid.
But no, it's Keanu Reeves shredding guitar, head back, rocking it as hard as he can. And then the regular like 6 or 7 inch action figure is him with the guitars and accessory and stuff, and you can make him shred as hard as you want. So
You can make him shred.
I guess he's just straight up future Ted, man.
Future Ted.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm about
he's
it.
Ted with a robo arm for shredding.
But over here in the comments, Johnny just said something off of YouTube. He said Venture Brothers got canceled. That is
I
in the
didn't know
news.
Venture Brothers was still going on.
I think it was season 8 they just finished, or we're about to start season 8. I haven't watched the last 2 seasons, which is sad because I was super involved like 17 years ago of getting Venture Brothers back off the ground. I actually emailed Jackson Public and bought like they did a very small run of Venture Brothers t-shirts. I still have it, and it's like the print is kind of off center because they were making them in their buddy's house, and it was when they just when Adult Swim was just like 3 shorts that they showed at midnight, and
Hey, listen, man. Anytime Patrick Warburton is doing voice acting, I support that. So.
But yeah, okay. So Vince said they just finished season 7. But anyway, I had that shirt, and I had like a little bit of an email correspondence with Jackson Public, and they were trying to get it into a full blown season. And they had this little website, and I bought I bought one of the T-shirts, and I bought this little Venture Brothers communicator watch that, it was total shit because it was 17 years ago and the show hadn't gotten popular yet. And I need to go find that stuff because it'll probably be super collectible now. But yeah, Venture Brothers was an amazing show, and it was really cool to see. Looking back, I can't believe it's been 17 years. Holy shit. Wow, where does the time go? But what a ride, what a journey, and only 7 seasons in 17 years.
Yeah.
Like, jice.
You want to know something too? As far as Adult Swim and action figures and things like that go, collectibles. There is now a Rick and Morty Rickmobile Hot Wheel.
A Rickmobile Hot Wheel
in the wild, so you can find Rick's spaceship in a Hot Wheel form now. So if you find that, let me know because I want one because I like Hot Wheels.
He does like Hot Wheels. I think they're still making a Hot Wheels pinball machine. I haven't read any developments on it, but I'll let you know. Speaking of lost films, going back to things that have, projects that never got released, a lot of people have been talking about this thing lately, even though... So it's funny because people say it was never released. That's not true. There's a difference between lost films and never released films. And a lot of people, now that the internet is a thing, one of my old original co-hosts, the very first co-host of the Drive-In Speakerbox, a.k.a. the Negative Cutter, shout-outs to my boy Michael if he even listens to the show anymore. But he used to run a website way back in the day called All Clues, No Solutions. And he would find, he had an amazing, I'm sure he still does, an amazing collection of lost films on VHS and Beta and Laserdisc. And when you say lost films, it means that a lot of these copies, got lost. There wasn't like an original film stock somewhere because a lot of these things just got transferred over to VHS. And then the fall of VHS, a lot of these things didn't get transferred over to DVD, and things ended up in, flea markets and Salvation Armies and all this kind of stuff. And, he would find these things and rip them to like VCD. And remember when those were a thing? Mm-hmm. And he would sell these things online. And he eventually had to shut it down because, there's a lot of companies out there that own the rights to movies that they don't even have copies of anymore. And so like, oh, you're making money and not me? Screw you!
Was VCD ever a legitimate platform in the United States? Because the only movies I've ever seen on VCD were Asian pirated films.
And that's generally what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So, if you had a cool player, like I had this Apex, I can't remember what model it was, but if it had a secret, like the dev menu, you could still access if you hit 3 buttons on the remote, and you could turn off the region code protection, and you could play pretty much anything in it. And so that was how I played all my VCDs. Anyway, these films, these quote unquote lost films, they surface from time to time. And now that there's YouTube, a lot of them are up there. Public domain has started to kick in, but there's one that everybody's talking about right now on the internet, and it's a sequel to the 1976 piece of shit Grizzly, called Grizzly 2: The Revenge. And a lot of people are talking about the internet, and they're like, did you know that there was a movie starring George Clooney and John Rhys Davies and Laura Dern where they got killed by a grizzly at a music festival? And I'm like, did you ever watch this movie? They're like, no, it's never been released. And it's like, no, I've seen it. I saw it a long time ago on a shitty VHS cassette, and it's bad. And George Clooney's only in it for like 2 seconds, and I think Laura Dern's in it for less seconds. And I mean, John Rhys Davies, I think, is in it for a bit. He's the guy that hunts the bear, if memory serves. But it's getting a re-release. They're re-releasing it, and
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
it sounds awful.
It's.
But if it's John Rhys Davies like hunting down a bear,
Come at me, bear!
yeah, like that, yeah.
I will destroy you.
Fun fact: one of the nicest people I've ever met. Super cool dude.
He was a super nice dude.
Yeah.
Johnny Dalton in the YouTube comments, he says, "What about Deathbed? You mean Deathbed? The bed that eats people? The bed that eats people?" I have seen it. It's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible movie. And is it a lost film? Because I've seen that too. House of Long Shadows is another one of these lost films.
I don't know, but he also said there's a YouTube video of VCD versus 4K Blu-ray. That might be fun to watch. But you know what that makes me wonder? Is there a Blu-ray version of Bed Knobs and Broomsticks? Because if there is, I need to buy it so I can watch it.
It's Disney
all of the time because
coming out from the Disney vault.
I never grew up.
Bed Knobs. That's where and they had that night battle. Yeah, Deathbed, the bed that eats. Yeah, the movie's so bad. It's so terrible. And the other one I was going to mention was The House of Long Shadows. This is probably one of the biggest disappointments in films that I've managed to come across. Was I found a lost film. It's called The House of Long Shadows, and it was like this trifecta of horror. It had like Christopher Lee, and it also had Vincent Price and Peter Cushing all in the same movie. And you're like, whoa, masters of horror right here. This is going to be the spookiest, most scariest, like spine-tingliest, deepest voices, blood-curdling, taps on the windowest movie you've ever seen. And it was so bad. It was so bad. And I might still have a VCD of it somewhere. But I think you can actually find it on YouTube now. Somebody's uploaded it, and nobody cares enough to shut it down. So
there you go.
The House of Long Shadows.
Vince said there is a special edition Blu-ray of Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. So I guess I know what I'm finding on wherever I decide to shop from online as soon as the show's over. So.
That's what you're going to go home and do is find 4K Bed Knobs. You know they're doing a 4K Total Recall release. I think Lionsgate owns the maybe who
real
TriStar?
Total Recall.
Yes.
Not Colin Farrell Total Recall.
No, God, I wouldn't even mention that.
But like everyone getting kicked in the nutsack and big things coming out your nose. Total Recall.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face here. Look who's talking.
Like some screw you, Benny. See you at the potty, Richter.
Yeah. Give these people
not what you want, Cohagen. Give these people
air. Give these people air, Cohagen.
Yeah.
That's
that
getting
Total
4K.
Recall?
Yeah, dude.
Sick. I'm going to buy it. I own the Collector's 10 Mars DVD where you open up the planet of Mars.
And Quado's in there?
No, but I do have a sick Quado t-shirt.
Open your mind. So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't honestly.
It's not like a steel box. It's like it's like a tin. It's circular, and you open it up. It is the planet Mars, and it's textured. And you open it.
It's textured.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's actually super rad.
Where do you put that?
Just on the shelf in front of the other movies.
It's kind of like my box set of Invader Zim that I bought, in the early 2000s, and it's Zim's house, and it holds all the DVDs, and it has a little spaceship. His spaceship's in the roof, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this DVD box set of Invader Zim because I love Invader Zim. And I got this thing. I was like, well, where the hell am I gonna put this giant Zim house? And then I just kept it in the box.
You know what I do have that's in a steel box? The collector's edition with the included Queen soundtrack of Highlander.
Oh yeah,
pretty sick.
Speaking of the list of 20 movies that we mention on every episode.
I have a Rambo box set.
Yeah. Anyway, Grizzly 2, The Revenge. That's getting a re-release treatment. I thought that was kind of silly. Yeah. Let's talk about what's going on lately. Mulan, the talk of the town. I'm not going to pay $30 to see that and get Disney Plus.
Yeah, nor am I. I have no interest in Disney Plus. There's not really anything there for me that makes me want to have another monthly subscription
that you hadn't already seen.
Yeah,
100 times.
nor do I want to pay for premium, and then on top of Disney Plus and premium
$30.
Pay the $30 for Mulan. When I saw something that said that is only for the early release from now until December, it said that it will become more accessible in mid-December.
Whatever, dude.
But also, every review I've seen for Mulan has been non-favorable. There has not been one that was like, oh yeah, it's very good.
Mulan's more like Boolon.
Every review has just been like, hey, you know everything you liked about that movie? I just take that all away. Forget it. Also, Mulan's a superhero with powers now because she has unlocked chi and she can do whatever. It's like if you've ever seen Stephen Chow, what's the movie? The one where he does Buddha's palm. Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you've ever seen Kung Fu Hustle, just fast forward to the end of the movie where he does the Buddha's palm and is like the ultimate
and always goes
Kung Fu guy. Yeah. Like
and there's a circle cloud of dust that goes around him. Like
that's just apparently how Mulan is in this whole movie because she's like a child superhero and they're like, oh, you have to hide your powers because you're a girl and no one would like that. And then she's like, oh, but what if I use my powers and kick arrows at people? And they're like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, that could work, I guess.
That sounds stupid. The original Mulan was like she just loved her family and wanted to fight hard and try hard and did it.
I watched where someone pointed out where they're like, oh, they get taken to training and if they don't pass the training, they get sent home. And it's like, well, then why did she bother taking her dad's place? Why didn't the dad just go? Because if he was going to get sent home because he was physically handicapped,
pass the training,
then everything would be fine and there would be no reason. It's like, oh,
well, shut up.
Yeah. Stupid.
I don't know. Vince said someone at work said it was a good value because she has kids and taking them out to the theater is $1 million or whatever. That is the language of a person that hasn't been to the theater in a really long time.
Actually, right now, fun fact, everything at the theater is like crazy affordable.
You can take all 27 of your friends to the theater for less than it is to get Mulan, and they'll basically give you snacks. They're like, here, just thanks for coming.
Straight up, my dad and I went to watch Bill and Ted 3 at the theater. We did a review on that last time. Our tickets to enter and 2 of the largest drinks you could get cost the same, if not a little less than what it would have been if I would have bought it at home.
Yeah, every time I've been going to the movie lately, it's like $6, and they go, you want a giant, big as a small baby fountain drink? $5. And so I came out of there at like $12 and cheaper than Mulan, and I got a delicious frosty Coke Zero with just a little ice.
Well, and that's what everyone's comparing this to right now. They're like, oh, well, I can pay that price for this movie, but it's so much cheaper than going to the theater because I'm not having to buy all the popcorn.
And you're also cheapening the experience.
Go buy the popcorn and snacks and add it to that instead of pulling something out of the pantry. It's still going to cost quite a bit. Yeah, candy's.
You go to the store and buy the Orville Redenbachers. You melt the butter. How much that microwave cost you that you bought? How much that butter that you melted down? How much that couch and that TV? It's like, and I got to see it at home. It's like your screen sucks, your sound sucks, and I know it does because it's not a Dolby certified 40-foot screen with surround sound and dual 4K projectors like that. Fuck your home setup. It's not the movie theater. Take your kids to the movie, educate them, culture them. Don't just sit there and placate them with babysit tactics with a goddamn fucking DVD in the back of your minivan on the way to sucker practice because you're a shitty parent.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry. I have strong feelings about people that use movies as babysit tools. Teach your kids to behave in the theater and take them there.
We've both talked about how we both have some pretty decent home theater setups, and I've seen yours. Yeah, we both have some pretty decent home theater setups.
We do, and I still prefer the
I
theater.
still
Every
like-
time I got an 80-inch with a Dolby certified stereo system. I got the whole thing.
Oh, that's true. I have Atmos. I have Dolby Atmos. So anytime I watch a movie using my Xbox, it does convert my sound to Dolby Atmos. I forgot about that. I have excellent sound. I have
man-
better than excellent because I paid for that subscription, y'all.
But I will take a movie theater
Yeah, the movie
experience
theater's still pretty good.
every single time. Every single time. Because guess what? Your kids or your friend or whoever's there with you is going to go to the bathroom, are going to check their phone, they're going to get up to the kitchen, they're going to go, what happened? What was that? And then you just
Pause it.
pause it. No pause. No pause, no surrender. Thanks, Gunderson. Mr. Gunderson, Vern there, the big Vern sitting there tuning in. Who also said he was totally out of Mulan when you heard that Eddie Murphy wasn't going to be in it.
Yeah,
and,
or
Mushu.
and no songs,
no cricket.
none of the fun characters, nothing that
How do you
made
get down
the-
to business if you can't sing about it?
Yeah,
you know?
why not at least bring back Jackie Chan and have him sing it like he did in the Chinese cinema version of
I
it?
don't know.
Because I know he sings it in at least one language. I don't know if he does
I
a
love-
Mandarin and Cantonese version.
You know what movie I want to go rewatch? What was that last movie that Jackie Chan was in where he was he was basically like Liam Neeson in a Taken movie?
Oh, the immigrant.
Yes.
What was it called? Is that
I think it was.
is that what it was called?
I think
Yeah,
that's what
that
it was
is what it's
called.
called,
Not
yeah.
a great title, but man, Jackie Chan, like I love him in his more serious roles. He's and everybody talks shit about the Karate Kid movie, but I thought he was a good Miyagi.
Also, well, because
Or
it
Miyagi
wasn't,
clone.
It wasn't Karate Kid.
actually
It
The
was
Foreigner.
Kung Fu
The Foreigner.
Kid.
The Foreigner, that's
There
what
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah. We watched that in the theater. We reviewed
did.
it on the show. Jackie Chan's in a lot of trouble right now too. So,
Oh no, what did he do?
Nothing. He was
Okay, good.
A human being in China was like, nope.
Okay, I thought that maybe I was like, please don't tell me that he's getting, he's sexually assaulted a baby
Oh
or something.
no,
like,
there's no way. No,
You never know these days.
Jackie Chan is one of the most pure human beings there can be.
Yes, and please
And
don't ruin that is
No.
a universal constant in my life.
the Chinese government
He just
does not
panders
like
to
that.
the CCP. That's all. But
No, but he doesn't, and that's why he's in trouble.
I don't know.
It was something
Yeah.
about like he supported some sort of like
Well,
voting
that-
rights in Hong Kong or something.
Yeah, but that was recent. I'm talking about a few years back. He was.
Oh well, I'm talking like last week, within
Yeah.
the last few days.
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah.
Oh
Politics
no, you got to say,
over there is rough.
yeah, Jackie, like in Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, that show. I forgot about that show.
What? How do you forget about Jackie Chan Adventures, bro?
Oh man. Well, because they weren't that great. Are you gonna start crying?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, who are you, bro?
I don't know. I didn't get into the Jackie Chan Adventures, man. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know. This and the Scooby Doo crossover episodes. Like, I never got into those. Or like Batman and Harlem Globetrotters would show up. I was like, this is not for me.
You didn't like the Harlem Globetrotter episodes of Scooby Doo?
I just because.
What about Phyllis Diller?
Oh no. Just get.
What about
to
Kiss?
That was.
Oh yeah, look at
Because
now.
Scooby Doo didn't.
See ya, Johnny.
Kiss didn't cross over into Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo crossed over into Kiss, and yeah, I mean that was okay. That one I'll give a
Dude,
pass.
I don't know how you cannot be about the Harlem Globetrotter episodes of Scooby Doo, man.
I don't know, and maybe I did like them. Maybe that because I remember them. I don't. It's just like stick to business. Let's like find that farmer,
down to business.
find that farmer that's dressed up as a radioactive spaceman, and get him, and bring him to justice.
Yeah, but they had a little help from the Globetrotters, man.
How and why?
Because reasons.
I mean,
Or
the show
Phyllis
is
Diller.
the show is implausible enough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And and then it's like, well, Batman just happens to be on this old family farm out in Iowa, and gives a
best.
shit about us and what we're doing, and yeah.
Yeah, why would that not be the best? Even in the new Scooby Doo movie, Scoob, it has Captain Caveman and Blue Falcon.
So, did the new movie Scoob have Scrappy?
No.
Because I liked Scrappy.
No scrappy.
everyone universally dislikes Scrappy.
I like Scrappy.
And you're like, oh, forget the Globetrotters and Phyllis Diller and Batman. Stupid, dumb cartoons, so implausible. This dumb cartoon where these guys eat 10-foot tall sandwiches in one bite. Can't believe they just went that implausible. You're like, Scrappy's pretty cool, though. And
No.
anyone who's ever watched Scooby-Doo is just like, no.
Well, because I liked Scrappy-Doo because I think I was the only fan of the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which had Vincent Price. And, like, Vincent Price was this sort of nefarious, like, fortune teller that would speak from the netherworlds through this book, and they would they had to track down these 13 ghosts, and then Scrappy was all right on that one, man.
There was also that Scooby-Doo crossover movie where Shaggy gets turned into a werewolf, and it's like Wacky Racers, but it's with Frankenstein and Dracula. And
Oh, that sounds cool.
have you never seen that?
No.
Oh, it's like the Munsters race movie where Herman's in the Wacky Races style race, and that too. But it's Scooby-Doo, and Shaggy gets turned into a werewolf, so he's having to win the race.
Extra Shaggy.
so that he can be cured of his
lycanthropy.
So it's goofy and dumb and a lot of fun. And I can't believe that you haven't seen that one because it's
don't think
the
I've seen that
movie monster one. It has like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Dude,
and-
no, I love because the thing about Hanna-Barbera, and you go back into the 60s and then again in the 80s, and there was a very brief time in the 90s. It almost seems to skip a decade every time, and I think they're coming back now. Like the Universal monsters seem to have there's Monster Mania that seems to come and go. There was the Monster Mash, and I was like, oh yeah, this assemblage of Universal movie monsters is cool and funky, and they made what was it, Groovy Ghoulies? Do you remember that show? And they were always in Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and then it disappeared for a minute, but then it came back, and then there was Monster Squad, and then there was all these kind of things. It was all these
What is it? Wolfman has a dong.
nards.
Yeah, Wolfman has nards,
Wolfman
man.
has nards, and and then it disappears for a while, and then it comes back in now the Dark Universe trying to get launched with the Mummy and the Invisible Man, and I think there was another one they were trying to do.
It's a really underrated movie as far as stuff like that goes. My Mummy. It's a pretty good one.
My mummy.
It's about a kid
My
that's
mummy.
obsessed with that kind of stuff, and then the
Wherever I
mummy
go,
finds
here
him, and they
goes
become
my
best
mummy.
friends.
My mummy and
You ever seen that
me.
one?
No, that sounds like Bubba Hotep.
No, it's not like Bubba Hotep at all, because Bubba Hotep is a weird movie about a unusual growth on
We have talked about on Bruce Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this and a mummy that sucks your soul out of your beehole.
Yeah,
Beehole suckins. The Bubba Hotep story.
it's a weird movie, y'all.
But
The first hour is just talking about a unusual growth. It's
well,
bad.
I just
don't like
I
that
just
movie.
rewatched one of my favorite '90s action adventure movies because it's September and I like
Commando, right?
The Mummy.
Oh.
Brendan Fraser, dude. That movie is good. Arnold
Yeah.
Vosloo, everybody's like, and I'm like, no, watch it. It is such a good adventure movie that it's as if it's one of the better. It's a better Indiana Jones movie than Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull sucks, dude. Don't make that face, or
No
you're
one-
fired. If you like Crystal Skull, get out of here.
Nobody says that Crystal Skull is good. No one says that. But to say that The Mummy's a better Indiana Jones movie?
Yes.
I don't know.
It has great music. It has a great love interest who's also kind of a badass. It has this, undefeatable, punching like bricks, handsome hero, and it has a fun, assorted cast of side characters that come along and do all their things, and it's all in the desert, and they're looking for artifacts that.
And instead of John Rhys Davies' character, they have the dude on the horse.
Yeah,
with the tattoos.
with the Magi.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are the Magi. We have protected the book for thousands of years.
Yeah, the guy from Deuce Bigelow. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he was in Deuce Bigelow.
He
Yeah.
was the gigolo that made it. Deuce was a tank cleaner for him, and then he got stuck being a gigolo.
Gigolo training.
Yeah, yeah.
But The Mummy, I watched that. I just revisited that, and it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the CGI is a little bit dated. I mean, obviously,
Can't help
but you
that.
can't help that. But the movie is solid. The sets are solid. And that music, oh my God, the music They don't do music like that anymore. And then all the horse stunts. God, the horse stunts.
It's fun to have a movie like that set in the teens or 20s or whatever it's supposed to be, and
man.
just be fun. Yeah.
And it's one of the best roller coasters at Universal Studios. Still. So good. Scarabs and fire. Fire, and you get sweaty on a roller coaster. There's real fire, dude. Anyway, Vince asked from Twitch, he says, speaking of the Dark Universe, are you guys psyched at all about MI7?
Listen, dude, if you watch the show, you understand that we actually really, really like the Mission Impossible movies.
As much as we disagree on dumbass action movies, like the things that he likes that I don't want to mention because he'll go on a tangent about them.
Are we talking about some Fast and Furious?
But we do agree on Mission Impossible movies are pretty good.
They're just so good. And did you see that Tom Cruise, they were going to shut down filming, and he's like, I don't think so. And he just paid to rent like a cruise ship or something insane because he's like, no, we're going to film this movie because I'm Tom Cruise. And it's like the last one, he just bent his ankle to where his toes touched his shin, and he's like, I'm going to keep running. I'm going to keep going because Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise doesn't
And then the
stop.
one before that, he
may not be able to act well, but man, he will just keep on going. Are you going to cry again?
No, what? You said Tom Cruise can't act?
I mean, he's not the best actor in the world.
Bro, have you seen any of the Mission Impossible movies?
You don't need to act to ride motorcycles and run.
Have you seen Legend?
Well, yeah, and he was just like a kid. I've seen all of. I actually like Tom Cruise,
Have you
even in his
seen
crazy period. I've seen Eyes Wide
Rain
Shut.
Man?
I've seen Rain Man. I've seen Risky Business, which is one of my favorite movies. I've seen Legend, which is one of my favorite movies. I've seen Top Gun.
Wow.
I've seen Jack Reacher. I've seen The
Oh,
Mummy.
yeah, Jack Reacher,
I've
the first
seen,
one is so
good. I've
Vince saying action movie acting is not acting. I think you're very wrong there. There's a lot of acting that goes into action movie acting. Like Bruce Willis acts like a tough dude and people believe it. That's good acting, man. That's good acting.
because he's not a tough dude,
No, he wanted to be a comedian and he's an asshole.
and he wanted to be a rock star.
But
and he
instead,
can't sing.
he's John McClane and you believe it.
Welcome to the party, pal. But I know where Vince is coming from in the comments here, and there are some places.
He's thinking more like people that are put into the roles of that because they fit it more than being an actor wise. Things like,
Jason Statham, who has
no,
grown. No, hear me out, because Jason Statham was a model and a martial artist, and then Guy
diver.
And Guy Ritchie picked him up to be in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And he'd never really acted before, and you can see that in the next couple of movies that he did. But as he has grown as an actor, he's gotten better at it. He's practiced. He's honed his skills.
Yeah, I like Jean-Claude Van Damme, too, because I was going to go there early on.
Or even
maybe not the
Arnold.
best.
Early Arnold, he's a little bit stiff, but he's awesome. But then you go
But he's
late.
the Terminator. You're supposed
You
to be
get
stiff.
late Arnold, and you're like, he can actually act. And here's the thing. If you've ever worked on a set or a low-budget movie, and you see the difference between a shitty actor and a good actor, you're kind of blown away. Like, you go, oh my God, this all makes sense now. Not everybody can be an actor. One of my favorite things to see is, like, if I'm ever working on a low budget movie and
Look at Tommy Wiseau.
Yes. But yes, or like people that work, or like theater people that have only done stage stuff, and then they get put in a movie, and you're like, and they're acting, and you're like, oh, and it's just not good. But I worked on a couple of movies, but there was one in particular that I remember, and they kind of spent a lot of their budget getting two, names. They wanted a couple of names attached to try and sell, and so they came in with cameo bits, small roles that you could film them in a day or two, but they could attach those names to the film and try and get it out there in the circuit. Anyway, we're sitting there filming this movie for 28 days, but then we have 3 or 4 days with some talent that comes in, and just the performances on set, and you see it on screen, and the contrast between someone who is seasoned and a professional at this, even if they're not doing great roles or great what you think is great acting, when you see somebody that really can't act on camera, you're like, oh, holy shit, these guys must actually be doing something right.
Well, and going back to Jackie Chan does tons of action, more than anything else that he's done. But Jackie Chan is a fantastic actor. He can act in like 12 languages fluently and say things in like another dozen to just do whatever he can. He's an incredible person, and to say that action movie acting is not acting.
Now, if you're talking about the Boz, then maybe yes.
Yeah, but he's in B movies, and you're not expected to have good acting from stuff like that. But something like Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen's a great
Donnie Yen
actor.
is a great actor. You know, and he is an action movie actor. What's the other guy? I watched A Knight's Tale last night, just on a whim. It was on Netflix. I was like, man, I remember how much I like this movie. And because, dude, I haven't seen Paul Bettany in a movie in a long time, and I obviously hadn't seen, what's his name? Because he's dead now. But I was watching this movie, and then there was a lot of action. Heath Ledger, yeah. Oh. He's dead.
You said, what's his name?
Yeah. But anyway, what I was getting at was, now you made me forget what I was saying.
You were talking about Paul Bettany, the dude from
that was before that. Something about movies,
Game of Thrones,
and acting.
You were talking about A Knight's Tale.
The guy. He was the not the Terminator, the Punisher. He's always an action movie actor, and he's really, really good.
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane. I really like Thomas Jane.
He's not.
No, he's not. But there's a guy that looked just like him, and I thought he was Thomas Jane at first. And then he took his.
You talking
helmet
about
all
the
way
dude
off.
that plays the prince?
King Edward.
Yeah, the king. Yeah.
He kind of looks like there's that Thomas Jane look-alike. I thought it was until he took his helmet off, because I was like, oh, is that Thomas Jane? And he took his helmet off, but it got me thinking about Thomas Jane. Okay.
Yeah, Thomas Jane's in Deep Blue Sea, and he's the coolest dude.
And Thomas Jane's a good actor. Dolph Lundgren, he's an actor as well. He is also an actor. No, he's actually not terrible, believe it or not. I mean, you look at his performance in The Expendables and some of his later movies that he's kind of grown into. What?
I just realized that Thomas Jane and what's his name? Help me.
I gotta give him some context.
Raiden. Highlander.
Christopher Lambert.
They kind of look.
They do kind of look alike. Yeah, Christopher Lambert, not a great actor.
The Raiden laugh. Whoa, what?
I didn't say he's not he's a good actor. He's not an amazing actor, but he's
bro.
A good...
You tried not speaking English and then being as good as he is in Highlander. Are you kidding me, bro? He's not. You know that he's not American, right? English is not his first language.
I do, because I like Subway, and Subway is a weird movie that nobody likes but me, I think, because it's early Luc Besson and...
Oh, talk about Luc Besson and people that English isn't their first language.
Or that it can't act.
That can act. And action movies. Hold up. Who's the dude that plays Leon? He's in Pink
he's
Panther.
in everything.
He's in Onimusha 3, the video game. As the guy in the future.
Jean Reno.
Yeah, there it is.
Jean
Reno is a great actor, and he's in almost nothing but action movies.
Yeah, Jean Reno is awesome. Highlight of French cinema.
Yeah, dude, he's fantastic in Pink Panther.
He is very good.
Amber's Burgers.
Vern asks, how many Deep Blue Sea movies were made? I feel like I saw a third one somewhere.
Oh yeah, there's a new one that just came out. There's a new Deep Blue Sea sequel that they just released.
Bluer Sea.
I figured that would have been the second one. Like, I think they already
deepest, bluest sea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now
deeper seas.
Now you're
the
onto
deepest.
Something. Yeah.
It's deepest sea, Mariana, and they just get in there.
Yeah, and it's like the Meg, but with smart sharks.
Speaking of, hey, dude, I didn't even think about this. Jason Statham and Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie is coming back and doing another like spy thriller action movie, and he's casting Jason Statham. Of course, Jason Statham and Guy Ritchie both, launched their career with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which I was just talking about. Coming back and doing another movie called Fire Eyes, which. Statham's going to be playing the lead character, and I don't know. I'll keep you informed on that, because there is a part of me that still kind of likes Guy Ritchie, even though he hasn't made a good movie in a really long time.
A lot of people liked Aladdin, man. I don't know what to tell you.
No. Who? No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you see how much money it That's
Worthington's Law, dude. Just because it made money doesn't mean it's good.
But people liked it is the thing. It's messed up.
No.
In fact, one of our friends posted that he or she was going through movies, live action remake movies, and Aladdin was top tier stuff, man. There's a lot of people that liked the friggin' Will Smith genie, and I don't understand that. Makes no sense.
We
to
will
me.
see in 1 year from now if anyone even remembers that movie was made.
Yeah, probably in a year. They've been stuck at home watching stuff.
I don't think they're
There's
gonna
probably a lot of parents that wish they didn't remember right now because their kids want to watch it.
God, gross. Why? Why, Disney? I get it. You're trying to just make stuff out there for us to watch, but
50 foot tall, like gross molting parrot.
Iago.
Yeah, that was the thing, and then the live action one.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Iago will always and forever be
Gilbert Godfrey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can't. And he's, if you follow him on Instagram, he's got a pretty good Instagram.
I don't use Instagram.
Yeah. One of the funniest things, if you've never seen Gilbert Godfrey dramatically read.
See it?
What?
See, people like Aladdin, I'm telling you.
Oh, barf. No, I'm reading a comment that says Aladdin sucks. He actually saw it. That was Vince from Twitter. Or
So
Twitch.
You got
Kaya
both
said
ends.
she liked it.
Mhm.
She's maybe thinking about the animated movie. Because, I mean, yeah, it was great. And the second one was better than the live action movie.
Oh, the King of Thieves,
Yeah.
or what was it?
Or even the Christmas special. I don't care. Like, any of those are better than the... And did they do a TV show on Disney a long time ago, the Disney Channel?
Yeah, they were bound to have, for sure.
What was I going to say?
I'm telling you, people liked it. People liked Lion King, even though it had the worst singing from Beyonce ever, and it was super dumb. And I don't know what to tell you. Remember how much money Beauty and the Beast made because people watched it like 10 times?
It doesn't matter how much money
No,
it
but
makes.
because people watched it 10 times. That was my quantifier there because we talk about, the money is not it.
If everybody tries a thing once and it's gross and doesn't try it again and it made a lot of money, it doesn't mean that thing was good. That's what Lay's has been doing with all their chips. Like I bought a bag of the Nashville hot chicken chips.
Oh, it's so gross, right?
yeah, it's so gross. But guess what? It was successful because everybody, all of our dumbasses bought a bag.
I can't find the friggin' carnita street taco. I want to eat the carnita
they're
street
gross
taco
too.
flavor. I bet they are, but I don't care. The pizza one is
Exactly.
disgusting.
Does that mean it was a successful flavor?
No, but dude, does that Nashville hot chicken flavor not taste like old dry cardboard that's been sitting somewhere for years and then someone put a little bit of cayenne on it?
When's the last time you ate old dry cardboard
But
that
the
was sitting
smell,
somewhere
you
for
know what I'm
years?
saying? The
Oh, yeah.
smell of
Like when you walk into
disintegrating cardboard.
someone has like a shed in their backyard, like a grandpa, and you go to
Yes.
visit their house, and that's
And
where they
there's-
keep the lawnmower and like a rake that hasn't seen the light of day since the 70s.
Yeah, and there's cardboard
And there's
with like
cardboard.
a
Some-
dirt dauber nest on it.
and some mason jars in there, and like that's what it smells like.
Yeah, and that's what the Nashville
You can
hot
tell we're from
chicken
the
flavor.
south. Yeah, like that's what it smells like.
Yeah, you know when you go down to your papa's house and they got
And you
them
got the-
dirt daubers
In the shed, in the steel shed, and you're always afraid to go in there because you know you're gonna get stung.
and the mason jar with the water you were told not to ever take a sip of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
see.
see, so at least, Kaya, thank you. Yeah, Beyonce's performance in Lion King was not good, and everyone's like, "Oh, these songs." I'm like, "No, that's the worst that she's ever been." It was,
Barf.
it was so bad.
Blind following is what that's called. You've got your Beyonce goggles on, and she can do no wrong.
Well, and what's his name? Donald Glover. He might rap. People like the Childish Gambino thing.
I met him, and he was a nice guy.
Yeah. Oh, I've watched him do stand up live in person. I followed him since the Derek comedy days. But he shouldn't sing in long form.
But just because it makes money doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
Pickle Lays, Midwest Zoe says that they like pickle Lays.
That's fair.
You know the
'cause
flavor that I really enjoy?
Pickle's a lot like sea salt and vinegar,
Which is great. And they stopped carrying the black pepper and vinegar ones at Schlotsky's, and it made me sad. But Lay's, you remember when they first started this whole nonsense of boutique flavors? Because, I mean, that's the game. That's why sell you a whole bunch of the classic when we can all get you to buy this shitty one that we're never going to make
Because they
again.
drag in the two of us real easy.
God, I know, because we're humans, and this is what we do. But the biscuits and gravy ones, Do you remember those? Those were so good. The biscuits.
You liked those?
Those were so good.
They weren't bad. Okay.
And the South Carolina barbecue ones.
So those are really good.
And they don't make them anymore.
Well.
And they don't make the biscuits and gravy one either. And the biscuits and gravy one are really good because it was like black pepper and a little bit of dairy. Yeah.
So
dude.
Vince said some of the junk food prizes that you gave out as part of the Drive-In Speakerbox Tavern trivia at Smoke and Barrel were some of the weirdest flavors he's ever heard of. Yeah, you specifically went after weird, unusual things.
Oh, the weirder the better, baby.
Oh, and sometimes it was a lot of fun. People would share it all around the bar, and everyone would get a taste of the odd stuff. But a lot of the time,
they weren't good.
they were not good. And everyone's like, "Will you eat some of these?"
And when Melendez took over Oreo from Nabisco, because, I mean, Nabisco hadn't made Oreos in years, but they were just like, here we go, it's pancake fart flavor Oreo. And you're like, what? And
I have maple flavor at home right now. Actually, it's not.
What is
not
it?
bad.
So pancake fart is a thing that they've actually made. Wow. Okay. Just the first thing that came out of my head. Grant says all dressed Lays are the best, period. No contest. And if you can't get all the dressed Lays, get other brands, best flavor. All dressed. What is that, like loaded baked potato? I don't
like a everything bagel chip
Ew.
flavor.
No, everything bagel is just onion flavor. Like, I don't know why they say
No,
everything.
it doesn't taste anything like onion.
No, it only tastes like onion and garlic. That is everything bagel.
Maybe it tastes different to different people. Everyone has a different flavor. Like, everyone experiences
God,
it
was this
different.
Christopher Nolan bag of chips here? They're like, ooh, gonna blow your mind with expanding your horizons.
Speaking of, obviously, neither of us watched a movie, but Tenet is out in the theaters, and I'm sure that some people have gone and watched it. And I almost made myself do it yesterday, but I did not have it in me to sit through like 2.5 hours of Christopher Nolan movie.
Because, I mean, we've said it. I've said it. I'm going to say it again. Christopher Nolan doesn't blow my skirt up. You know, Memento was great. Inception was
See, it's like I've seen Inception, and I didn't feel like watching Inception again.
Interstellar was
That's true. Well,
You know, Batman was Dark Knight was
hey, but
and-
Batman Begins.
Okay.
Batman Begins is good.
And
But it also
Dunkirk was pretty good.
Yeah, Dunkirk
was
good,
good.
if not
But
completely
in
historically
Dunkirk,
accurate.
it wasn't like, watch me turn a building upside down and blow you. Like I've
He
said
was,
this.
he was stuck within the confines of realism.
He's trying to M. Night Shyamalan everybody, and you know, and that's not a sustainable model. Just ask M. Night. Like it does.
Yeah, when's the last time anyone cared about a movie that he made?
You
right?
can't fly too close to the sun there, Icarus. People are gonna find a movie and think it's dumb, and a lot of people are saying that Tenet is a bogged down, muddy sort of not. Instead of going like, whoa, dude, I don't understand it, therefore it must be above my comprehension. Whoa. And instead of just going, this movie wasn't good and didn't make me think.
Dude, and the more trailers I watch, the more I just don't want to watch it because it's like the bullets are being caught by the gun instead of flying out of the gun. It's like, whoa. Okay. It's like he watched Wanted and was like, what if I put this movie in rewind? And
Is Wanted the one where they could do the pistol gun thing?
Yeah.
And what was the other one with gun kata? Do you remember that one?
yeah, with Christian Bale.
With Christian Bale.
Where they invented that word of
Gun kata.
Yeah.
Equilibrium.
There it is.
Oh my God, that movie. Watch that movie. That movie's dumb
Don't
and
watch that
amazing.
movie. Because you're like, why are they trying to be the Matrix? The whole time?
Whole gun kata. I thought it was Smoking Aces that did but I guess it was Wanted.
No, Smoking Aces is like a dirt trash bullshit movie that
Guy
like,
Ritchie.
Here's 50 people that are kind of famous, including a pianist, and then they're all assassins that don't want to get along with each other.
A famous pianist.
Yeah, what's her name? She's a singer. She's in the movie.
I don't know. I can't. It's been a long time.
Alicia Keys.
Yeah, Alicia Keys. It's been so long since I've seen.
Yeah, so they're like, what if she was in an action movie? So that goes back to Vince's thing. It has Ryan Reynolds, and it has 25 other actors, and you're like, oh, I know that person. Oh, I know that person. Oh, I knew that guy. Hey, that person, someone I know. And it's stupid. It's not good. Smoking Aces was one of those movies that was supposed to come out and be like the movie for everybody. Nobody liked it. Yeah, because it was like, here's your favorite actor for 5 seconds playing the part of a butthole that gets killed, and the next scene.
The end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
Well,
they made a sequel to it.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. They did. Smoking Aces 2. Ugh, things I've tried to get out of my head. Well, okay, guys. Before we start talking about like different cheeseburger toppings and flavors of M&Ms, we're gonna get out of here so we can keep it on track. But thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Garrett saying it's like the Expendables.
Wow, Expendables
That'll be next
is
week.
Actually fun.
We'll talk.
I don't know
yeah, we're
what
gonna have
that's
to,
about.
We're gonna have to talk about Expendables next week. But Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, do those things. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever. I'm the Boom Operator.
I'm the Grip.
And we'll see you next week.